Hi everyone. Welcome back. I promised I would be here tonight. We went over a little recap last week. So now we're actually going to pick it up from where we were December 18th, actually. Um, in that time, we went over many little things talking about, excuse me a quick moment, I'm still getting phone calls here that I wish not to have. We still, I'm still working with the hospitals and everything, so I apologize. I also apologize for the screen not having a green screen up here yet, because it does drive me crazy when my hair is all over the place, but I will get it done um, by springtime. That's the best I can promise you. But tonight, I'm bringing you into chapter 2, mindful noticing. Remember we were talking about an energy bank account, okay? Your deposits, how you make deposits, and how you're making the withdrawals from your energy and starting to get depleted with everything that was hustle and bustle going on and everyday life, and of course, surprises that are completely unexpected. And we're still, believe it or not, cleaning up the residue from 2025. And all this is taking up a lot of energy, and I'm hearing from so many people how this seems to be a really rough ride at the end. So it is even more important now to pay attention to that bank account that you have that is your energy. So, how do we go about that? Well, the deposits are easy enough, and in the very first episode, when we're talking about Breath 101, that breathing, that rhythmic breathing, that heart coherence breathing, slowing down, starts to add back to you in this stillness, the slowing down. You're not taking on so much, and you're taking moments for yourself. So that's simplistic enough, not always so easy to do, but simplistic enough. So if you're unclear, please go back to episode 1. Now, how to become aware of how you're expending your energy. Now, yes, a lot of times we know, oh, we've got all this stuff to do, and that's why I get so tired. Except that's not exactly mindful for the actions specifically that you're taking and how much exactly you're giving out, because a lot of times we are on automatic. And so we don't recognize, we're not aware, we're not observant, we're not mindful as to how much expenditure we're putting out there. So I promised you an exercise to help you start to discern where your energy is going. If it's something that you still want to make the choice to put out that much, maybe draw some back on a given situation, not place any energy in something that you have been in the past, because remember, we're still shedding, or maybe it's something you still want to, but you recognize you don't have enough energy right now. So you have total permission and recognition when you go through these exercises to say, I'd love to, but I can't right now, but I will when I can. And that too is being very authentic and caring of yourself. Remember, that in order to help somebody else, you've got to help yourself first. So, examples, somebody in the water drowning, if you don't put your life preserver on first before you go jumping in, trust me, somebody drowning unintentionally will, by trying to save themselves, they could drown you. In the airplane, they always tell you put the mask on first before you extend yourself to help. Reason for that is if you don't have the oxygen supply, you'll run out before you can really be of great value to help others, where the other way, you will be able to help more. So it is putting yourself first as well, staying healthy, changing routines to make yourself healthy. So we're not going to take the whole time to go into this in depth, but I'm going to show you right now how to do this. And I like to call it, which we call it different in energy codes, but I like to call it home, where the attention goes inside. Object, a person is an object, a situation is an object, but we're going to use something within 5 feet or further for the room that you're in will be the object, and we're going to use the same object when I tell you to put your energy there in focus. And then you're going to go back to home. And we're going to stop and pause and notice how you feel inside. Now, it takes a few times, and it's in the book. Don't worry, the exercise is there. I think it's I'm not putting my glasses on right now. Practice number 4. Is it 4? Yes, it's 4. So, I want you to be comfortable. This is something primarily you're going to be doing with your eyes open. But if you first need the moment to just close your eyes and just breathe, and please breathe in through the nose, expanding from the diaphragm first before you bring it up to the lobes of your lungs, and exhaling through the mouth with a nice release of an ah. Another one in through the nose, and release through the mouth with an ah. And one more time, in through the nose, and release with an ah. And just take a moment to notice how things are slowing down and calming and how you feel. And if you've been rushing around for a long time, then this may take a couple of times, a few minutes, but get to the point where you can actually feel that calmness inside. Your energy is focused inside to your breath in your body. Remember that communication I was talking about. Okay, so now look somewhere in the room. Just look around, but take something that is at least 5 feet away. And that is going to be your object for the exercise. And you can always choose a different object every time you repeat this exercise. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the faster when you're in a situation, you can now see when you are leaking your energy. So go ahead, take a look at something in the room around you. And now focus on it. So I have a little bubbly kitty in a basket that I'm focusing on. And as I can see it in the colors, I want you to look at that object, start to see the colors, start to see the texture of the object, start to see the size of the object. Really put your energy there. And keep focusing on that energy. And give it a moment or two. You're just breathing normal now. Just focus on that energy. Focus on that object. And so when I say focus on that energy, I want you to stop for a moment and just take a brief little notice. How are you feeling? Do you feel the same you did before you focused? Now, bring it back to yourself, to home. Go ahead and close your eyes if you want. Breathe in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Feel yourself resting inside. Breathe rhythmically, a nice rhythm. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. A few more breaths. And pause and notice how you feel inside home. Again, I want you to look at that object. This time, look at that object even more intensely, like it's a situation. If you can't relate to the object, make the object a situation that you're dealing with, and give it the intensity, give it your concentration. Put yourself in that situation as best as you can. Feel what it feels like when you're in it. Keep putting your attention there. If it's the object itself that you can conceive this, I want you to feel as if you're touching that object. You can feel it on your fingertips. Let your focus just be there. You're breathing automatically, no focus on that, the object. Now pause for a moment and take a quick little notice of kind of how you're feeling a little bit. Now bring your focus right back to you one more time, eyes closed, so you don't have this all sensory input. When you get used to this, you don't need your eyes closed at all. Breathing, a nice rhythmic breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, relaxing, softening. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Feel that calmness washing over you. Feel yourself being pulled together, seated within yourself. Good. One more time. Take a look at that object. Really, everything you got, put it over in that object. That's the only thing that exists. Everything else, you can't hear it, you can't see it. That's the object. Because when you're in a situation, especially if it's intense and serious, that's what happens. There isn't anything else that you can see. It's only that intensity of that object. You're throwing your energy at that object. So keep putting it out there for a moment. And now notice how you're feeling. And come right back. With some practice, you're going to feel the differences. Now here is why we do this. I want you now to stay and breathe rhythmically. Feel that nice centering. Keep noticing that breath your breathing, your calmness, your quietness, your peacefulness. It feels good. It feels restful. It feels safe. And as now, keep your attention on your breathing in this space inside as you now look at that object. You don't throw all your energy out there. You stay here in the core of yourself as you're looking at that object and giving it attention. Feel the difference? You can anchor within yourself. This is the goal. Anchor within yourself. Don't deplete your energy. Contain your energy within as you now are sharing your energy with the object, with the situation. Because now you can start to feel and you'll become more sensitized as you practice this a few times. The first time like this, coming on YouTube and everything, you're not going to necessarily feel it right to the core right away, intensely, but practice it a few times. And you will start to see and feel your energy just leaking out of you. So now you can make discerning decisions. This is very important. You want to get to any of your goals or your dreams, any shifting of patterns. You need to know where you're putting your energy. And you need to understand when things keep turning out the same and you think you're doing things differently, you may be attempting it in different surface manners. Subsurface, unconscious has not changed yet. So we have to become mindful. I hope this makes sense to you. I really want you to come back to this episode and practice this a few times over and over till you feel it click. And as you do, then start to write discernments down for yourself to see, where do you need to place your energy? Do you need to do that anymore? And if you do, how much do you want to give out? And as you do practice this in given intense situations, you will recognize faster, or even recognize for the first time, how much energy you've been setting out there, expending, bankrupting yourself, going into the red, not just zeroing out into the red. And the longer you do not bring back a deposit in your energy field, long term things start to happen to us physically. Different parts start to break down until it even becomes more severe. So this is a very powerful tool if you start to incorporate it. So try it out. It could work for you. I hope it does. That's why I'm sharing it. But if it doesn't, that's okay. But give it a fair shot, okay? I'm going to ask that. Try it out at least 5 times to see and note it down. Remember I asked you to start this journey with the book with a clean journal? Just jot it down, outline form. Don't have to write big long stories, but start to notice. And anytime you want to go back to the full information and description, go ahead and pick up the book. You'll find it in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and everywhere else. And I am Karina Carj'an, writer and author of the book, co-creator of the book. It was written with Spirit to help bring these tools from the unseen into the physical world. Spirituality with practicality. Until next time, please have fun with this. Have a most blessed evening and a beautiful week. And I thank you for being here. Oh, and for those celebrating Valentine's, happy Valentine's Day. It's not just for romantic relationships, it's for any relationship out there. So you can share it with a coworker, a friend, a neighbor, or a loved one. Sending you all love and beautiful blessings. Until next time, which is next week. And we have great information coming up of what I'm going to be sharing, some beautiful things for you.